If you clicked on this video, it's because you want to know what the best food is for fat loss. And I'm going to tell you, fat loss in the human body is dictated by many complicated mechanisms. But you don't care about any of all that. You just want to know the best foods for fat loss. And as much as I just love to give you a list of foods to eat in a PDF format in the link in the description, it's not that easy, but it is very simple. Much like when you're trying to save money, you need to live below your means. But in this case, they're caloric means. The same thing is true with fat loss. We need to find a sustainable way for you to eat to lose fat. But we can't go too crazy, because otherwise it won't be sustainable for life. So if one method doesn't appeal to you, or it's not possible with your lifestyle, maybe you're a nurse that works a night shift, or a flight attendant, or a truck driver, you've got a complicated life schedule. So we got to find a nutritional intervention that matches your life needs. And if we try a method that doesn't meet your needs, whether culturally or for other reasons, then it won't work long term. Take the analogy from earlier, for example. If you tell someone who's shopping at Whole Foods every single day to just stop shopping at Whole Foods and switch up their grocery store, they'll probably save a lot of money just by doing that. But if you're someone who's never shopped at Whole Foods to begin with, and I came here and told you to just stop shopping at Whole Foods, well then that money saving tip won't really be relevant to you now, will it? Fat loss is the exact same. I could come out here and tell you,
stop drinking soda.
But if you never drank soda to begin with, or you don't like soda or carbonation, that's not a very helpful tip now, is it? Instead, I'm gonna give you 4 tips that you can use to speed up your fat loss. That way you can keep it off forever. First tip, and probably the easiest one to change today, eat more fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are very low in calories. And when compared to pretty much any other food, you can eat a lot more of them for a lot fewer calories. They're dense in fiber, which is an indigestible nutrient, and it's been shown to improve gut health, increase satiety, among other things, which are both very important things to have when dieting. Fat loss phases can feel very restrictive, but they shouldn't feel like you're suffering on the daily, because as we mentioned earlier, then it won't really be sustainable. So fill yourself up with some fruits and veggies to help you stay satiated and lose fat a little bit easier. And if you're someone who's cost conscious going, oh God, this again, or if you're someone who doesn't have access to fresh fruits and vegetables on the regular, frozen and canned fruits and vegetables will do just as good. In most cases, they are equally nutritious, and they're usually picked at peak ripeness so that you can get the best, most fresh ingredients possible. Most importantly, for less. Tip number 2 is to consume more lean sources of protein. This doesn't mean to stop consuming some of your favorites. For example, no hate to my Hawaiians, but if your main source of protein is something like Spam, well then maybe we should reconsider restructuring your program to allow for more lean protein sources like chicken, fish, maybe extra lean ground beef, plant-based sources of protein like tofu, tempeh. By consuming leaner sources of protein, they will be lower in fat, therefore lower in calories, all while still being able to try to hit your protein goal so we can maintain as much muscle mass as possible. And for those of you wondering what your protein goal should be, you should be consuming around 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of your body weight. And for those of you that only understand freedom units, that's about 0.5 to 0.7 grams of protein per pound of your body weight, in freedom units, of course. As I mentioned earlier, this helps us make sure that we can maintain as much muscle mass as possible so that we're not just losing weight, we're instead prioritizing losing body fat. Tip number 3, and this one might seem quite obvious, is to reduce your total intake of ultra-processed foods and or don't drink your calories, especially not from ultra-processed foods like sodas. Make sure your diet works for you. A full sugar version of soda like this one would be like 200 calories. This one right here is 0 calories, safe to consume, and will satisfy you just the same. And if you're gonna sit here and tell me,
oh my God, but it doesn't taste the same, I don't like it as much.
Okay, you made that choice your entire life. How's it working out for you now? And also make sure you're consuming less ultra-processed foods, which are significantly more dense in calories. They're low in fiber, so they're not very filling. These are things like packaged chips, cookies, etc. Now, I'm not saying to stop consuming them entirely, but definitely reduce the amount you consume, and you'll easily reduce the amount of calories you're consuming. Which means that if you're someone that eats an ultra-processed food every single day, by just reducing the frequency to once a week or twice a week, that will significantly impact the amount of calories you're consuming. And lastly, take your creatine. Especially if you're someone who eats a plant-based diet, you're not consuming enough creatine as it is. And after reducing your intake even further, because you're in a calorie deficit, creatine is actually arguably a little bit more important to consume. This way, you can make sure you have more energy on hand for your workouts. And not only that, but we have some literature to suggest that it is important in the maintenance of your brain function. So if you're someone who's trying to lose fat today, remember, consistency will always be the biggest key. Take this photo, for example. If you have 6 bad days in a month where you go 1,000 1,000 calories over your total, but you stay on track the other 24 days, you'll still be in a calorie deficit over the 30-day period. So don't be so hard on yourself for being bad 1 or 2 days. 1,000 calories is a big slip up, and you've done that 6 days in the month and you're still on track. Remember to stay consistent and you will continue to hit your goal, and your goal will be more sustainably achievable. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts about this video down in the comments below. Anything that I can improve upon, as usual, I appreciate the feedback. And make sure that you guys get involved with my Instagram, TikTok, etc. I hope to do a few giveaways in the near future, so make sure you guys get involved over there, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you later.